they didn't play their best game tonight, and the Capitals played pretty good, and the Rangers escaped with a 4-3 win. So I don't know what really Washington can change. I guess the old adage, you got to lose one. What is it? You got to lose one at home before you lose the series, right? So I guess that's Washington's mantra right now. But the Rangers are clearly the better team. They have more talent across the board. They matched them on special teams. I think Washington had 2 power play goals, and the Rangers had 2 power play goals and a shorthanded goal. Right, so you win the special teams battle and you win the game. And Shesterkin made the saves when he needed to make. Like, look, I could sit here and complain because to beat Carolina or Florida or Tampa or Boston, the Rangers have to be better than that. But every game's not going to be perfect, and they won the game. So are we going to, Mikey 150? Like, am I going to sit here and be upset?
No, I don't think you got anything to be upset about after that game. Look, they were, objectively speaking, I said it in our group chat. I didn't ever really feel like, maybe until the last, exclude the last 3-ish minutes, I didn't ever really feel like the Capitals were a threat. Well, hold the Eds. Here we go.
What's up, boys?
Yo. Trying to go full screen. It's not letting me.
You're on, little Ed. You're live, buddy. You're live. Say hi to the fans.
What's up, everyone? Coach Ed and I on Long Island Railroad right now.
You guys are way too calm for me. I'm 5 Woodfords deep, so I don't know.
Buzzing.
It was exciting. It was an interesting one, to say the least. Got a little nerve-wracking towards the end. The Rangers got away from their game a little bit, but they held strong. They got to learn how to clear the puck, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, we were just saying. I was just saying that the Rangers didn't play their best game, and they won. And Washington, I think, threw everything they had at the Rangers, and the Rangers still won. So, I can sit here and critique little things about the game. They need to do better if they're going to beat the Hurricanes or the Bruins or whoever they play. But, at the end of the day, they got out with a win, and I don't know. I don't really know what else Washington could really do, right?
They're going to get
they threw everything at them.
They're going to get dirty. They're going to try to injure, I think. I think that's their only move at this point is take one of our players out.
Yeah, I was saying to Eddie that opening game, that opening few minutes in Washington, they're going to come out buzzing the Washington. They're going to hit everything. It's going to be crazy. They got to keep their guard up.
Yeah, Panarin's keep his head up.
They didn't hit anything tonight. They had zero physical presence. Nothing.
Who's that?
Washington. They were garbage. Like, they were sticking you out. They were doing chippy little stuff, but in terms of straight up separating man from the puck, they were doing none of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Rangers controlled the pace of the play for most of it, but that's why I'm saying towards the end of the game, the Rangers started to slow down, and that's when the Capitals were getting their opportunities.
How did it look on TV? We saw a lot of 2-on-1s Washington got. The Rangers blew some coverages early.
I thought
the
overall,
Rangers
were go ahead, Mike.
No, I was going to say the Rangers were sleepy early. The first 9 minutes of that game, I didn't think the Rangers were even in the building. And then they scored that goal, and then it did a complete 180, and they got some life, and they were buzzing. Then they got the power play goal, and it was just – I said it to Cousin Ed, it was just the floodgates were going to open one way or another. Like, there's no way Capitals could sustain that pace of play through a full 60 minutes against the Rangers, and they didn't. I mean, there was never really a point in that game where I felt the Capitals were particularly threatening, despite, getting shots and whatnot. They just didn't really look like a dangerous team.
It was kind of a repeat of the first game.
Yeah, I mean, Coach, I wasn't really normally I'm extremely nervous during games. That game was 1-0 Washington. It was 2-2 in the second, and at no point in the game was I really concerned. I thought the Rangers were in full control mostly. I did think Washington started well and they scored, but the Rangers are a slow starting team, so I wasn't really that concerned. I was mostly concerned the last 5 minutes, like Little Ed said. I was like, this is, we're one bounce away from overtime, and that could lead to, some problems. But overall, I
kinda-
thought
that's
the
kinda what-
Rangers controlled the play.
Yeah, well, that's kind of what Coach Ed said too. Like when they were up 4-2, he said they're one bounce away or one opportunity away from making this a 1-goal game, and that's what happened. Like momentum can swing really heavy in their favor, and when the Rangers, like, I hate when they play like that because they beat themselves, and that's the only possible way they lose this series, if they beat themselves. If they don't show up to the game, if they don't show up to play, if they don't come out hard in Washington, things can get ugly real quick. But I mean, it's fine. It's hard to believe that they're gonna not be able to win 2 out of the next 5. Coach had just said before we came on here, but at the same time, I mean, have all the confidence in the world, but this series is far from over.
How did Lindgren look on TV? He looked a little shaky tonight.
Charlie Lindgren, not Ryan Lindgren.
I was gonna say which one. You gotta be a little specific.
Chucky.
Yeah, we got our friend from the Blue Seats podcast. Thanks for the comment. It wasn't pretty, but we got the dub. Exactly. I feel the same way. I thought Lindgren was a key part of the Capitals' push. I mean, I really thought it early in the third. The Rangers had a bunch of chances to make it a 5-2 game and really seal it. And I thought Lindgren made some big saves. He kind of was shaky with that one play in front, but other than that, I thought he was good in the third. And I texted in the chat. I said, hey, Lindgren's keeping Washington in this game. And then all of a sudden Wilson gets the tip and it's 4-3. So not as good as everyone was saying before the series, but I thought he was admirable to keep Washington in that game. Because I really thought the Rangers controlled the play, at least from TV. Maybe live you guys had a different vibe. I was going to ask you about the Panarin hit on TJ Oshie. Those two seem to be going at it all game from TV. It must have been crazy live, noticing all the little things behind the play that the cameras don't pick up. What did you guys think of that hit by Panarin on Oshie?
Well, I said it right away. I mean, I saw the hit. I was like, "Oh, big hit by Panarin." He just put Oshie on his ass, and they called the penalty. I was like, "I don't think that was a penalty. That looked clean." Like he definitely caught him in the jaw, but it's not like he threw the elbow or anything. He was just finishing his check, and he outmuscled him a bit. I mean, it's a little shocking coming from Panarin, but I don't think it was anything malicious. And then I thought this was happening all game, first of all. A lot of stuff behind the play. They call like the little hooks and the slashes. Same story as last game. But then they let, like, Lindgren was getting double teamed on the other side of the ice when you guys probably were seeing the scrum with Panarin. Lindgren was getting double teamed by Carlson and Ovechkin on the other side of the ice. No penalty.
Like punched in the face, knocked his helmet off.
No penalties. They didn't show
They actually
any of
showed that on
They
TV and none of the other stuff. So
Oh,
that's all we
okay.
got.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
crazy. Oh, that's good. Yeah, because that's where the puck was, I guess. So, yeah, that's wild. So stuff like that, I think they got to stay away from. That's the only way Washington gets back in this series.
I mean, it's a bad draw for the Rangers to get Kelly Sutherland in game 1 and Wes McCauley in game 2. I mean, geez, like two of the most inconsistent refs in the league. I think the everyone's saying, oh, the playoffs, less penalties. Coach, you kind of laughed when I mentioned that in one of our previous episodes, and like I just feel like there's so many penalties being called. It's every other minute there's a penalty, and
But it's always like,
and it's inconsistent. And then they miss like a high stick to the face. It's like I don't know what's going on, but
it feels like they're always calling the wrong penalty.
Yeah, I agree. I said it on the way to the game. I'm like, they're not calling these really hard checks. I was watching Reeves last night in the Bruins game. Mike, I'm sure you were watching.
Yep. Oh,
he
yeah.
had like 2 or 3 high hits on one shift, and they don't call anything. Then they call a little hook to the hand, like a bullshit play.
Oh, yeah. Don't even get me started on calling Charlie Coyle for a roughing penalty when it should have been a 5-on-3. Like, it's ridiculous.
I couldn't believe what they're calling. It was like shocking to me.
It is.
Yeah.
It's insane. They're consistently inconsistent. So, I mean,
I guess.
That Mika trip was
That was crazy.
unbelievable.
blatant,
the one right at the beginning of the game.
blatant,
How about
blatant.
the elbow on Cooley on the jaw? With
Yeah.
Wilson,
Yeah.
elbow to the face.
Yeah.
Yeah,
After the
Elbow to the
ref just warned him.
yeah. Well, I think look, you have to the refs aren't going to be perfect, right? So we can't blame the refs when we lose, and sometimes you win despite the refs, and it gets annoying,
goes
but
both
I just
ways.
want
There's
Yeah.
some bad-
But it goes.
there's some
Yeah,
bad
I was just gonna
calls
say it goes
ways.
both ways. Yeah, for sure.
right. I'm sure Twitter is a buzz right now about how Panarin didn't get a major penalty on that hit. So
Yeah,
it's
maybe
Capitals
It
it
should
fans
have
are
been a
standing there.
major. It shouldn't have
It
been a
is a
major.
little
Too much.
It is a little ridiculous that they call it a major and then they don't call anything at all after the review.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'll take it. But yeah, what they say on TV about Oshie was it just like concussion protocol, or they didn't really say anything?
Yeah.
He left
Protocol.
the game and came back. He's fine.
How bad was Ferraro stroking the Capitals when they almost came back?
I don't know. I had the MSG.
He wasn't too
on.
bad. He wasn't
Yeah,
too
I was
bad.
listening to Sam and Joe.
No, Ferraro wasn't too bad tonight.
Coach, how about
All right.
Keandre Miller tonight with Schneider?
Oh, that
Schneider,
was beautiful.
Schneider and Miller were awesome tonight, man. They were really good. They were really
They
good
were
tonight.
beautiful, and that goal by Keandre, that's what I've been looking for all season. And that was
He
just
played a great
beautiful
game.
beautiful pass, beautiful shot. It
Yeah.
happened down the other end, but we saw the whole thing happen. It was cool. It was beautiful.
Yeah, that was something
So
else.
the Rangers
Mika's
are
back on fire.
they're spreading the goal scoring around. Obviously, 4 guys tonight get their first of the playoffs. Trocheck, Zibanejad, Razovic, a big goal to take the 3-2 lead, and then Keandre gets the game winner ultimately after Wilson's power play goal, a shorthanded goal. So 4 guys tonight with their first of the playoffs. Trocheck an assist, Lafreniere 2 assists, Zibanejad a goal and assist. I mean, Panarin not on the board after his goal in game 1. I did read some criticism online about him. This is last year's Panarin. I thought he played awesome tonight. I don't know about you guys. I mean, I thought he was all over the ice.
Thought he was effective.
Yeah, he played well.
I mean, you don't always show up on a score sheet, but I thought he did what it took.
Look.
You know.
Yeah, look, it's what we've been saying for a couple of weeks now. They double up on him, they rough him up, and Mika scores and gets an assist. You know, that's the way it's got to be. You know, if
Yep.
they can't shut the whole team
Open it
down,
up.
if it's going to be spread out, that's the thing with the Rangers. They can't key on the one line, and the other line has to shine and take those opportunities. You know, that's the way it is.
Listen, if the Rangers lose that game 3-1, then you say, okay, Panarin's got to step up and put something in the net or make something happen. But they didn't. They won. They took care of business. The scoring got spread around a little bit, you know. So
And he managed the puck well. He
Exactly.
managed the puck well. We watched it. We kept looking at it to see what he did, and he managed the puck well.
there was
Flipped it off the wall, got it deep when he had to. None of the cross ice giveaways. Didn't give him a chance like that, though. As far as that goes, I was happy.
one play that it was kind of like a delayed offside or whatever, and like you could tell he wanted to go cross ice so bad, and he like held up at the last second. I was like, hold it. He restrained himself.
Yeah.
Maybe we have a new Artemi Panarin.
Yeah. No, I mean, look, with Panarin, there's going to be games in the playoffs that he doesn't score. It's not the regular season. You know, teams are going to key on him. They were physical with Panarin all night, Oshie especially, and he's going to get shut down from time to time. And when that happens, you just want Panarin to answer the bell. He did, right? He did not back down from the physicality. He responded with his own physicality, and the other guys got to pick him up. And that's what Mika Zibanejad did, and that's what we've been saying all season. If the Trocheck line doesn't score, who is going to score? And tonight, Zibanejad with a goal and assist. Razovic gets on the board. Laffy with a couple of assists on the power play as well. So,
How about that pass from Gustafson down low to freaking?
Oh man,
the deflection, nasty.
Yeah,
that got me
was-
off my seat. That got
Nasty.
me
There
off my
was
seat.
3
I
Cavs
was like-
puck watching on that play.
I
Yeah.
love it.
It was like right
Unreal.
under us. We were up on the bridge in that corner. It was like right under us. It was a beautiful view. Can we talk about the third line though? Cooley, Kako, Wenberg, all over the offensive zone, making plays.
I
happen.
love that.
Kako and Cooley are like MVPs of this game.
Dude,
Yeah,
Kako
they
and Cooley were buzzing all game.
A+ effort.
And
Cooley
Wenberg
was all over
is
the
so
ice.
responsible. He wasn't
Yeah.
buzzing like them. At least like the vibe wasn't him buzzing. I'm sure he was buzzing, but it didn't
Well, he
feel
picks
like
his
Kako.
spots.
Yeah, but he's just so effective and he's responsible. So those two just buzz around, and then Wenberg knows exactly where to be. And I really like that line. They control the play. I mean, they're in the offensive zone most of the time. You know, I think in the first game, the shots were 16-5 or something like that when that line was on the ice in favor of the Rangers. Shot
It's
attempts.
it's very rare that the Capitals or the other team have an easy breakout with that line's on the ice. Whether it's like getting a stick on the puck, a hit, a forecheck, it's never like a clean breakout. Now, they might be able to get the puck out, of course, but it's never just a clean, easy play for the defenseman, and that's how you got to play in the playoffs, no doubt.
Panthers and Lightning are in overtime, by the way.
Yeah.
Wow.
I thought in the first two periods, the Rangers were giving up a lot of the neutral zone, and they were letting the Caps carry the puck across their own blue line. And it was really sort of hamstringing the Rangers from getting any momentum in the game. But I think they cleaned it up in the third. But that was something that I definitely noticed in the first and the second period. Oh, we lost the Eds.
Yeah, I mean, they're on the train. So I agree. I think, I think the Capitals game is to get ahead and control the neutral zone, right?
Yeah.
So the Rangers have to just, regardless of the score, get pucks deep and pick your spots, right? Be opportunistic with the rushes. And I thought as the game went on, they did that. The beginning of the game wasn't good, but I was watching the game with my wife, and Washington went up early, and she, I was calm, and she was kind of like surprised. And I was like, this is okay. It's okay. It's 1-0. This team is not good. The Capitals are not a good team. I mean, look, as a Capitals fan,
I totally agree.
As a Capitals fan, like, you're sitting there and you're like, we just lost 4-3 to the President's Trophy in Game 2. We got a chance if we take these two at home. Like, you're not disappointed, in that game, in my opinion.
Yeah, you're right there. Yeah.
But I just don't think they have enough. I mean, they might get a game, but I just don't. I don't know.
I think the one thing that they have failed to do so far is make Igor uncomfortable. Like, there was never a point in this game where it looked like Igor was stressed one bit until maybe the last couple minutes. Nothing dropped at his feet and got batted around. Everything got cleared out of the slot. The Capitals did get some good shots from the slot, but nothing was really dropping in terms of good rebounds for them to smash home. So I think Igor played great, and they did a good job of cleaning out the trash in front of him.
I mean, you could tell in warm-ups that Igor was just dialed in.
He was laser focused, man. Like, it didn't even look like he broke a sweat.
Some of the shots are like towards the end of the game, like one of the shots like bounced off him and went straight up, and he just like blockered it away. You could just tell that he was just on the puck the whole game, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Igor, so Shesterkin came into the game 10 consecutive playoff games at MSG where he's allowed 2 goals or less. So he gives up 3. That streak ends, but they win. But that streak is over.
Easy.
I'm just saying, this is kind of my job, so I'm doing it. But anyway, Shesterkin, I thought wasn't great, but he made the saves he needed to make. There were a couple of scary moments, and he saved that breakaway at the end of the power play.
That was big.
That was a big save
early that kept them in the game or kept it tight until they were able to blow it open.
Yeah. This team has another gear. Like, the fans out there, I mean, we could sit here and be like all positive and not really criticize the team at all, but they have another gear. So if you're sitting there like, oh, this isn't good enough to win the cup, you're right. This kind of game isn't going to win the Rangers the Stanley Cup. It's going to beat Washington.
Yeah, but the whole season, the Rangers have played like this against the weaker teams.
What kind of angle are you giving me right now? Is this a little nostril angle from Little A?
This is called the transfer at Jamaica.
No,
Transfer
we're
to
Jamaica. We're at Island Park right now.
Oh wow!
Wow.
So
Rushed
Ovi
out of
only
the-
had
out of the
one.
Garden.
Ovi only had one shot on net until there was 3 minutes left in the third. The Rangers had one person just shadowing him that whole game, and Ovechkin did nothing.
Nothing.
He was completely ineffective in every facet of his game until 3 minutes left in the third period.
Yeah.
So, I mean, talk about hamstring Washington.
I was watching the power play for Washington, and they really tried to get it to Ovechkin on that seam pass. Zibanejad, though, just stayed with him the whole time.
Yeah.
He just stayed with Ovechkin. It was literally a 4-on-3 outside of Zibanejad and Ovechkin. And I was like, all right, that's the strategy. I get it,
Even when they had the goalie pulled at the end of the game, it was a 5-on-4. They had a guy just on Ovechkin, just chasing around the zone.
Little Ed, did you get me one of those towels?
Yeah, I was just waiting for you guys to stop talking. We got plenty of towels for you guys. Don't worry.
All right, I need one.
Got about,
What's the quote?
You got about at least 8, maybe.
What's the
actually,
quote?
No, 10, closer to 10. So,
Do those,
People
do
didn't
those
take
come
the
in,
towels. They just
do those
left
come
them?
in Bruins?
What?
Do those come in Bruins?
I think you got to go to TD Garden for one of those.
They get.
Wrong
So what's the
wrong
quote on
garden.
the towel? What's the quote? The quote on the
Quote is
towel.
from Laviolette. It said,
Oh, Florida just scored.
"It's a sea of blue out there. These fans have been here for generations." I think they could have done a little bit better with the quote, but pretty cool, I guess.
Yeah. All right. All right.
Laviolette
know
said
if
a few better quotes this season, but we'll let it slide. We ran into
I don't know
Johnny
if you
Laz.
guys-
We ran into Johnny Laz in person. Yeah, shout out to Johnny Laz. He was very nice. He said our show's been killing it. He's been seeing us all over social media, so that's very cool.
Nice. Thanks, Johnny. Appreciate that. Johnny's doing a good job covering the team, and he's got a great podcast over there as well. And I appreciate that. That's cool that you met him in person. Would you run into him at the food line or something?
No, up on the bridge where all the media hangs out. We actually got the boot from our usual seats because they needed more room for media, I guess. So we got moved over 5 sections. Similar view, still up on the bridge, but they moved us over a little bit. So we went over by our usual seats just to hang out, meet up with one of our fans. Shout out to Rose Dara if you're watching. And then we saw him over there hanging out by the rest of the media. We were keeping an eye out for EJ and Jackie and the rest of the NHL crew, but no luck. We had to settle for Johnny Laz.
Sorry,
Speaking
Johnny.
All right.
Sorry, Johnny.
Speaking of being all over social media, I don't know if you guys caught it, but Little Ed was on TV
Oh
after
yeah,
that Roslick power play goal.
No
we
shit.
were on TV.
I
after
saw
this.
that. I saw that you sent it. That was hilarious. With the Rempe Rides at Dawn shirt.
Yeah.
We're losing Little Ed. But
Nice.
all right, so the Rangers game 3 is Friday. We got 2 days off before that. I hate that, but it is what it is. The NHL is kind of planning their schedule around the NBA playoffs, it seems. So the Knicks play Thursday, Rangers play Friday, Knicks play Saturday, Rangers play Sunday. You know, they got to coordinate all of that for now at least. So the Rangers Friday in Washington. 2 days to think about it. Who does that benefit? Mikey Produces. Does that benefit the Rangers or does that benefit Washington?
I would say the Rangers all the way. I mean, I don't think anything's going to benefit Washington unless somehow the Rangers get like a
Well said, Mike.
flu bug, going through the whole team. So
What do you think, Mikey? 150.
Probably Washington. I mean, they got to really sit down and watch the film from those 2 games and figure out where they can find a hole in the Rangers. I mean, the Rangers got the Caps number. It doesn't matter if they have 1 day off or 4 days off. I mean, they're probably going to win. So the Capitals need all the time they can get, all the help they can get. And I think time benefits them more so than the Rangers.
Yeah. No, I mean, look, I think both teams can use the time wisely. I think the Capitals will definitely take a look at the film. I don't know really what, like Mikey said, Produces. I don't know what the hell they can find on that film to help them. And this is just a way better team. And I'm not just saying that as a homer. You know, this is not a Rangers Devils last year series. You know, it's not Rangers Penguins 2 years ago. I mean, this team is really bad. The Capitals shouldn't even be a playoff team. So if the Rangers blow this, it is an epic upset. You know, it is one of the worst upsets of all time, or best, depending on which side you're looking at it from. So I think that the Rangers need to just kind of hold serve and just refocus, regroup, go on the road. And Washington's really got to figure something out because this team is just – it doesn't do it for me. You know, there isn't a moment in the game where I'm really that nervous.
It's nice that the games have been relatively close, though, because when there is that much of a skill disparity between the 2 teams and you just whoop them the first 2 games at home, you get that lull, that sort of false sense of security. But with the game staying tight, I'd say the Rangers aren't necessarily going to fall into that trap, or probably be less likely to fall into that trap. you know.
What'd you guys make of Tom Wilson in this game? You know, I a lot of buzz around him, fighting Rempe or throwing a big hit or something. And honestly, I just thought he was just diving constantly. I saw like 4 or 5 times that he dove trying to draw a penalty. One time it worked. Threw that elbow with Cooley. I don't really think he's as effective as he used to be. Am I being biased?
No, the chippiness was the big part of his game. Like, that's what made him so good. Like, he's a slightly above average skill player. He's big, I guess, got size, but that ability to get in people's heads and be effective through that mechanism was one of the better points of his game. And now that that's gone, this is what you're going to get from Tom Wilson.
Yeah, and I feel like the Rangers didn't really bite on any of his antics. They just kind of let him be. It's kind of like let sleeping dogs lie kind of attitude towards him. I can't imagine that's going to continue. I think he's going to try and really get the crowd going in Washington, and something's going to happen next game. I would imagine Wilson will be a big part of it. Coach, I see the cup. Is that a plastic cup? Is it like a beer cup, or is it one of those like soda cups? Coach Ed's showing me the 2024 playoff cup from the Garden. He froze though.
I think Wilson's antics will depend on whether the Rangers can get the lead or not in Game 3. If the Rangers come out and take the lead in Washington, Wilson can do whatever the heck he wants. The Rangers are just going to laugh at him. But if Washington comes out,
Lindsay telling Coach Ed not to bring that cup to the house. I love it. Oh, sorry, Mike.
Yeah.
But
no, but I think if the Capitals come out and take a 2-goal lead, it's going to be a bit different of a story. Tom Wilson will definitely have a easier time getting in the Rangers' heads, sort of trying to push their buttons and play that game.
Yeah, I agree. And Lindsay, if Coach Ed does bring that cup to your house, feel free to throw it in a box, ship it to me. I'll take it. Don't worry. I got you. So, Wilson, Ovechkin, Dylan Strome, these are their big guns. And I just feel like the Rangers really, they don't scare me, man. I don't know. Like, if you shut down Ovechkin, none of those players scare me. I thought LaPierre and McMichael were really good. I thought they have a lot of speed and they showed a lot of skill in this game. I think they're going to be good players, but they don't really scare me, as a fan.
Yeah, but
this
isn't a preseason episode. This isn't a prospects or a scouting episode. We're
like,
Game 2 of the playoffs. Like, if that's what Washington has got in their arsenal to beat the likes of Panarin and Kreider, Trout, like, get out of here. No, we're not even having this conversation.
Exactly.
And Mike wasting our breath. Yeah.
Like, you're a Bruins fan, right? So you're watching the Bruins Leafs series, and
Yep.
A lot of people think the Leafs are going to win that series. A lot of people think the Bruins are. It's kind of an even series. I'm sure there's moments in that game when it's 1-1, 2-1, 3-2, where Austin Matthews picks up the puck and starts skating, and you're like, there's a little like, come on, like somebody.
Oh, dude, I clenched my ass cheeks so hard whenever he had the puck. I don't care if he's behind his own goal line.
Exactly. So,
yeah,
the point I'm making is we don't have that feeling. Like, I'm watching the game.
100%.
There's not a single moment in the game where I'm sitting there like that. I mean, look, at the end of the game, Washington pressed. It was 4-3. I was a little nervous. The Rangers couldn't bury an empty net goal with 2.5 to go, but they played with an empty net for 2.5 minutes and couldn't just end the game. But at the end of the day, for 58 minutes of that game, I wasn't really that concerned. Yeah, they scored 3 goals. I get it, but I just didn't feel worried. So we'll see. We'll see if Washington.
I completely agree.
Yeah, let's see if Washington can do anything different in Washington. Let's see if that actually matters. The Rangers still control home ice advantage. They don't have to win in Washington. I would think, though, looking ahead, as a fan, right? As a player, you don't want to look this far ahead. But as a fan, you want to look ahead a little bit, and you want to say, okay, if we're going to play Carolina in round 2, Carolina's up 2-0 on the Islanders. Islanders putting up a fight, but looks the same way. They don't really have enough to beat Carolina, right? That series is going to go, 5 games? Maybe 6? Maybe? Probably 5 games, right? 4, 5, something like that. Rangers got to match that, right? They cannot turn this series with Washington into a 7-game battle, war of attrition type series, and then go into Carolina well rested. So they need to take care of business and win this series in 5 games and then get ready for Carolina. That seems to be where we're at. I don't want to bury the
hypothetically
Islanders or
speaking,
Washington, but reality check,
But mentally for the Rangers, if Washington takes you to 7, what are you even thinking going into a series against the Hurricanes, who probably are just like picking the Islanders off the bottom of their shoes? Like that's a tough hill to climb. I mean, that's not a good place for your headspace when you're going into a series against Carolina. So in that regard, it's even more important to close it out.
This team is weird, though. Like, a lot of fans are like, oh, they play down in their competition, but they also play up to it. The Rangers were like 13-8 against top 10 teams this year. They beat some really good teams. They beat Colorado. They beat Dallas. They beat Carolina. I think they went 3-0 against Carolina this year. If I'm wrong,
3-0 or 4-0 the Bruins this year.
They beat the Bruins. They're playing down to Washington, but I think the Rangers in a series with Carolina are going to play better than they played tonight. The real reality is it's just injuries. It's injuries. It's being tired. I'm not so worried about their mental, what are they thinking confidence-wise going against Carolina. I'm more worried about 7 games of Trouba playing 20 minutes and Lindgren blocking 8 shots and then going into Carolina. That wears on you, right? So let's make this as easy as possible and then go into Carolina. I think that's got to be the Rangers' mindset going to Washington. But all in all, a big win. Rangers go up 2-0 in the series. Thank you for everyone who joined us on YouTube. Mikey, we didn't get it up on Instagram tonight. Is that right? Next time.
Unfortunately not. Yeah.
Yeah, next time. So thank you to everybody who joined us on YouTube. And we'll be back game 3 Friday night after the game to chat about, where they're at. Hopefully a 3-0 series lead. When does Boston play next? Tomorrow
night.
Tomorrow night, Boston.
Tomorrow night, I think. Yeah.
All right. I've been watching so much hockey, and I started putting the Knicks on too. So last night I'm watching the Knicks game. What a finish in that Knicks game, right? So my wife's like, "Oh, okay." And then after the Knicks game, I put the Islanders Hurricanes on last 3 minutes. What a comeback! And then she's like, "Oh," she's like, "That sucks." And then I put on Vegas and Dallas, and she's like, "What? Is there another game on?" I was like, "What? Would you rather watch Edmonton, LA? Because we could watch that if you want." It's gonna be a mess for 2 months, but a lot of good hockey Wednesday and Thursday. Rangers back Friday at Washington, and hopefully go up 3-0. Boys, thank you for joining me to talk Rangers. Thank you, fans, for joining us. Till next time, let's go.
Let's go Rangers.
Enjoy the hockey.